Hi Papercrafters, welcome to another Design with Joe video. I'm Joanne Rogers, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Central Alberta, Canada, and I've been designing with you in mind since 1999. Today I've got another Joe tip video for you. It's ones where I like to share quick tips that hopefully will make your crafting life just a little bit easier. Today's tip is all about how and why you score your cardstock. So why would you want to score your cardstock? So with cardstock, there is a right way and a wrong way. So there's a weave in it, or there's a way that the fibers of the paper sit. And you can usually tell by if you were just to fold a bend a little bit. So if it works that it's easier one way to fold, that's the way that the fibers are actually going. So let me just show you. So if we weren't to score this, so I've got a bit of crunchiness happening here, and it doesn't give you a very nice finish. Even if I were to go in there now with my bone folder and just give it a nice sort of crisp edge, there's still little wrinkles that are in the card. It doesn't give you a nice finish on a card that you're hand making for somebody. So I'm working with a piece of paper that is 11 inches this way and 4¼ inches this way, that when it's folded in half becomes an A4, which is a standard card size. So the first way, that's the most inexpensive, takes a little bit more time perhaps, but it is an easy way that anybody can do. Take a pencil and your ruler and make just a tiny little tick mark at the top and the bottom at 5½. You can probably barely see those tick marks, but I can see them here. And then take your ruler and you're just going to line up the 2 tick marks, and you need something that has a bit of a blunt edge. So you can use a needle that's not sharp. I'm using this spoon. You don't need to have a bone folder to do this, but you want something that doesn't have any paint on it or isn't going to cut into your paper. So all I'm doing is pushing into the paper, and I'm just not tiny little bit off of my mark there, but I've created a space where I have pushed into the paper and made a line. Now what I can do, I get asked the question a lot, which way do I fold my paper after it's scored? Well, when we think about it, what we've just done is we have spread apart the fibers of this paper. So we have created room for it to go around the corner. So I always fold away from my score line, and then I will burnish it. You can tell that I didn't do it exactly straight. Burnish it with the end of my spoon, and then I have a nice crisp fold, which is quite a bit better than this black one with its little crinkles. So that's the first way. The second way to score your cardstock is with a tool, with a trimmer that has a scoring blade on it. So this is the Stampin' Up! Trimmer, and it has a cutting blade that's a darker color, and it has a scoring blade that is a lighter taupe color. So I'm going to move my cutting blade out of the way, and I'm going to put my paper in. And instead of doing it at 5½ this time, I'm just going to do it at 2⅛. So I am going to move my paper. Let's do it this way. I'm going to move my paper here at 2⅛. And then I'm just going to close the lid, and I'm going to hold it against this lip here, and I'm just going to run that a couple times. And it is smooth enough, and it's not going to hurt the paper as in tear it, so that I can then fold this way. I'm going to wait for a moment, and I'm going to show you the last way. So this is the Simply Scored tool, and this is a tool that I use every day when I'm making cards. Mine sits out on my counter all the time, and it has a little tray back here that these little markers sit in, and it has little spots here where I can put these little markers. So if I know that I'm going to be doing the same score over and over again, I can just put it here. So if it were just the regular 4¼ or if it were 5½, I could mark those, and then I don't even have to think about it. And it comes with a burnisher like this that has a ball on either end, a smaller one and a larger one. So I'm just going to put my card in. There's my 5½ line. There's my 2⅛ line. And now I'm going to do, let me see, I'm going to do a 1 inch. So all I do here is I find my 1 inch, and there is a line here. These are all 1/8 inch apart. I'm going to use my narrow one here. And did I say 1 inch? I'm going to do 1 inch, and I'm just going to pull straight down. And you don't even have to do that more than once like I just did. So now what we're going to do, I want to show you the folding. Okay, so I'm going to, you can see a little bit of difference here. This one is a little bit of a narrower score. This one's a little bit wider. And you are just going to fold away from that, sort of over top. And then I'm going to pull in a bone folder instead of my spoon, and I'm just going to crisp those edges up. So that's how you can create a score line for making cardstock. And that's it. So hopefully you found this tip useful and maybe learned something that you didn't know. And if you've got a paper crafting question niggling at you, drop me a line and let's see if we can figure it out. Make sure you don't miss other tips and tricks by clicking on the subscribe button now. And why not join my VIPeeps Facebook group? It's free and it's fun and it's a creative community. We would love to have you join in. Thanks very much and have a great paper crafting day.